LeBron James and Nikola Jokic, teammates. A photo of LeBron with Jokic's agent is making the rounds and sending fans into a frenzy. But what is the truth? And if the two do want to play together, where will it be? Would it happen in LA with the Lakers, in Denver with the Nuggets? We're going to break it all down. I'm Trevor Lane. This is the Basketball Bulletin. Make sure you subscribe right here and turn on those notifications as well. Right now, about 70% of you watching, you're not subscribed. Let's fix that. Hit that subscribe button. Joining me, Donnie Freeman. Donnie, how are you doing? I'm on vacation. Not as nice of a vacation as what LeBron's on right now, though, apparently.
Yeah, he's all over the place, man. Every other day I see him somewhere new. I wanted to say really quick, on the 70% thing, yesterday or no, a couple of days ago, I saw a comment that was like, yeah, I'm purposely not subscribing so it stays at 70%.
I would have loved it. Let's get it down to like 65%, something like that.
Yeah, I had a good laugh at that one. I almost fell off my chair, but we love you guys. Thanks for your support. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. All right, so this was making the rounds. That is Nikola Jokic's agent, Misko Raznatovic. I'm not going to say that correctly, Donnie. I'm just going to mispronounce it.
I said Raznatovic, but I don't know.
Raznatovic. I bet that's right. Raznatovic. See, maybe. Look at that.
Maybe.
Appreciate the assist there. The summer of 2025 is the perfect time to make big plans for the fall of 2026. So what everybody went to instantly was, well, the NBA season starts in the fall. This must be about LeBron and Nikola Jokic playing together. And it could be. They still could, and we're going to get into that. But, Donnie, it does seem like there may be another explanation for this.
Yeah, it's certainly possible. I think it's funny because no matter what other thing that this could be linked to, that's such a short turnaround time, fall of 2026. Like, would they have everything concluded and sorted out by then? I don't know. But it is fun to look at this and imagine what could potentially be.
Yeah, I think they could have some things in terms of if they want to play together in the NBA, sure. But here, take a look at this. This is from Yahoo saying that Maverick Carter, who's in the picture there with LeBron and Raznatovic, said that Mav Carter is working on creating an international basketball league, a $5 billion. God, that's an expensive league, international basketball league. And Raznatovic, who represents nearly half of all EuroLeague players, would be an ideal partner in this endeavor. So that may be, again, this isn't definite, but that may be all that was going on here was a business meeting. Now you can question, well, why was LeBron there then? Are they actually talking about?
They're just traveling together, right?
They're just traveling. They just happen to be in the same place at the same time, right?
Well, this couldn't be sorted out. This is what I was talking about. There's no way this is sorted out by next year, right? But yeah, I think Mav and LeBron are vacationing together to some extent. But yeah, you could look at it a different way as well.
So his post, as Yahoo notes, his post was no accident. LeBron has always been a master of messaging. This could be a test balloon to gauge fan reaction or even a power play to push the Lakers' hand. Either way, fans are now looking at the 2026 offseason as LeBron's potential last dance. So I've seen a lot of the commentary on social media turn to, Jokic is going to the Lakers. My immediate thought was if LeBron and Jokic are going to play together, given that LeBron is actually a free agent next summer and Jokic is not, that it would probably be happening in Denver. Donnie, is that where you went with it too? If there was any element of that conversation to this situation?
Yeah, that's what I thought first. I wouldn't think it's the other way around, especially as far as LeBron is concerned, because he is probably going to be on the way out sometime sooner than later. Of course, he's on the edge of retiring, and we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, I would look at it from that perspective. I wanted to say on the article piece, though, the messaging piece, I know that he's a mastermind, all that stuff, but he isn't even the one that posted that. Like, that actually was posted by Raznatovic. And did he just tell him, like, hey, put this specific caption on here to drum up interest? I do wonder about that. But
maybe like if LeBron is sitting there, would you put it past LeBron to sit there and go, hey, throw this out there on social?
Well, not so much the picture, but the caption as well, right? Like 2026, like that's right. Where But yeah, I personally went the other way with it. It would be nice to imagine Jokic in LA, but I think something needs to be said for the fact that these Euro guys are very, very loyal to the teams that draft them. They don't typically like to leave and team hop. They've just got an entirely different culture. And so I honestly don't expect Jokic to leave at all. So
I don't either. In fact, here, this was from a Nuggets front office executive from my front office show co-host Keith Smith during Summer League, said about Jokic not signing an extension with the Nuggets, which did raise some eyebrows. From within Denver, said, no worry at all. It's the smart move from his side, if I'm being honest. He can lock in an extra year next year, which is the way to do it when you're in his position. Same offer, plus one more year. We'll be there for him a year from now. He knows that, and we're all on the same page. So in Denver, even though Jokic did not agree to an extension this summer, there's financial reasons for doing that. There's financial reasons for waiting one more year. It makes sense for him to wait another year. So unless we get to next summer, Donnie, and then suddenly Jokic turns down an extension, then all systems are go. Then in Denver, red flags should be flying everywhere if Jokic doesn't do an extension next summer, because the following summer, 2027, he can hit free agency. We already know a lot of teams are stockpiling cap space for 2027 for that free agent class. But so that's where I start to get concerned if I'm Denver, is if he doesn't do the extension next summer. For right now, I just look at Jokic and say, yeah, financially it makes sense for him not to do an extension right now. Wait, do it next year and off you go. And I agree with you. And that's not, it's a real thing around the NBA where teams are now, I wouldn't say preferring to draft European players, but it is part of the conversation that a lot of the Euro guys aren't as likely to team hop. They're not as likely to, once they get to the States and they join their team, or Canada, as the case of the Raptors, don't want to leave them out, but they get to their team, they tend to make that their new home, right? Part of the reason why Luka was so gutted when the Dallas Mavericks traded him, there was an immediate attachment to that area. And so you'll see these guys that typically want to stay and are viewed as less of a flight risk than some of the American-born players. And so that's a real thing too. And for all those reasons, I would be surprised if Jokic at any point leaves the Denver Nuggets. If he does, man, the Nuggets could get a haul if they decide to trade him or something. But I think the most likely scenario would not be Jokic getting traded to LA. It would be LeBron signing with Denver if he really wanted to play with Jokic.
Yeah, that's something that I think is more likely. Two-parter. So firstly, LeBron could have went to Denver instead of LA. At that time, Denver did have interest, but he chose LA and opted to. Now, I wonder if he still makes that decision.
You're talking about back when he first arrived with the Lakers?
Yeah, when he first arrived after his Cleveland second stint. I wonder if he makes that same decision if Jokic was then what he is now. I do wonder about that. Because Jokic needed another year or two to really hit that peak. But anyway, he had the opportunity then, opted to come to LA, the first year. And so that's a thing. And secondly, if Jokic did find himself on the market, what team, because a lot of these teams, and it's probably hard to say just off the cuff, but a lot of these teams are positioning themselves. Let me change the question. As opposed to what team do the Lakers, because we're talking about them, LeBron, have the best package to try to entice a Jokic to come in a sign and trade scenario, or do you expect him to just sign in free agency if they were able to get him?
Yeah, I could see. I do think the Lakers and a lot of teams around the NBA are right now trying to be careful with their future assets. We already know it's part of the reason why the Warriors are hesitant to trade Jonathan Kuminga or sign and trade Jonathan Kuminga for anything less than exactly what it is that they want, in part because they're rumored to be keeping an eye on the Giannis trade market should Giannis decide that he wants out from the Bucks. So teams are already recognizing
Jonathan in that. They want to put Jonathan in a trade as well, was what was in there. If they can get trade,
if they do wind up if they do wind up signing and trading Jonathan Kuminga, they want to get stuff back that they think could later on be packaged in a deal for Giannis. Or if Giannis becomes available sooner, they'd like to be able to put Jonathan Kuminga's contract into a Giannis trade if they do wind up signing him. And that's part of the reason why they don't want him at $30 million. They want Kuminga at $20 million. So he's an attractive trade option because he is a much more valuable trade chip at $20 million than at $30 million. So it's already the idea that the teams are going to pursue these guys and maybe on the trade market, not necessarily in free agency, is already permeating the league. We're seeing it. It is right now impacting what the Golden State Warriors are doing. this offseason. Now, there's a lot more, and we've talked about it at length on this channel, but there's a lot more wrapped up in that Kuminga situation. But that's just one example of a team that is already kind of eyeing a move
The
for one of these
Clippers
stars, a
too.
Giannis, a Jokic, someone like that. Absolutely. The Clippers as well, they're saving cap space for 2027. Although I think teams are really starting to recognize, though, that players aren't moving via free agency nearly as much anymore. It's mostly happening via trade. So if Jokic turns down the extension in 2026, boom, instant trade market for him. Teams will be making that call. Teams will be in a frenzy doing what they can to get him because the writing would then be on the wall that he wouldn't be long for Denver. That's not where I expect it to go. I expect that he will sign the extension. And I think if LeBron happens to want to play with Nikola Jokic, he would probably need to go to Denver to do so. But if they really want to team up, I'm sure the Lakers would be very happy to call the Denver Nuggets and offer something for Jokic and see if they can get them to team up in LA. I just would imagine it would be more likely if LeBron really wants to play with Jokic, it would happen the other way around. And frankly, if he's coming to LA, it would be more about Jokic wanting to play with Luka than wanting to play specifically with LeBron.
Yeah, maybe at that point, because we're looking, a little bit down the road. Maybe at that point, LeBron is willing to stay another year, play alongside both those guys, try to get a ring with them on LA. But that's just I just don't think any of that's going to happen. I just don't see it happening. Whether it's Giannis
It's
or
unlikely.
Jokic. Like I don't see it happening. So
it's
just
unlikely for sure. I agree with you. Even with LeBron taking pictures with his agent and all that, it's unlikely. But the thing that we love about the NBA is you can never say never. You just never know what's got. But it's I would say if you're dreaming up a LeBron, Luka, and Jokic trio, you probably won't see that actually come to fruition and happen. But again, in this league, you never say never. I mean, Luka's a Laker. Who knows what's going to happen, right? In the NBA, and that's part of why we love it. But nonetheless, LeBron taking pictures, Jokic's agent having a good time. We'll see if this ultimately becomes it. Donnie, I'm going to file this away as nothing until it's something. This is something. Just file it away. Don't forget about this. I don't think this turns into anything now, but next summer, maybe this comes back around again.
Yeah, that's certainly possible. Last thing before we get out of here. I've been staring at the cap sheet here. Hypothetically speaking, if LeBron were to go to Denver, how do they even do that? They would have to either clear space or he would have to take a below market value contract. How do they even do this?
Yeah, I mean, they're only currently $9.4 million next summer below the first apron. So he would have to be willing to take a taxpayer mid-level effectively, or they'd have to, right? Which
That's
I mean,
10% of his
crazy
current contract, right?
Right. Yeah, and that's what we're talking about. But it's again, that's also why it's unlikely. But unless Denver makes some kind of dramatic move to clear cap space, which maybe they could, but who are they like would Denver say Aaron Gordon, see you later, we're getting LeBron, and then pay the cost to get Aaron Gordon's salary off? Or would you just or would a team just be willing to take him? I don't know. Like that's part of the equation too, is when we look at a team trading for LeBron or signing LeBron, clearing the cap space to sign LeBron, what is left after they make the moves necessary in order to get LeBron? Or does LeBron say, you know what? Hey, I'm 41 now. I'm still great, because I think he's still going to be great even at 41. And I know this is going to be my final year. I just want to go have a shot to win. I'll play for $5 million. Again, I can't see it. That's gone against the way he has handled things historically, but that would be the path to him winding up in Denver.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I was wondering if maybe they also do something with like Jonas there. You know, they got that 10 million on him or something like that. But yeah, if you're LeBron,
you'd have to
you
move
probably
that. I mean, just
yeah. You don't want the team to gut itself, though. If you were to do something like this.
Right. If you're like, okay, let's say they clear Jonas off their books. All right, now we're talking full mid-level maybe. But even then, if you're LeBron at 15 million next year, a mid-level, like that's still a big pay cut. Maybe it's a little bit easier pill to swallow than a taxpayer mid-level, but we're still not. It's not like Denver's got a bunch of spending power next summer. So that now after that, we'll see what happens with Jokic. Things do get cleared up a little bit in 2027, but yeah.
Well, just something to keep an eye on, like you were saying.
For sure. For sure. Keep an eye on it. And everybody let us know in the comments down below. What do you think happens here? Is this something or is it nothing? Is LeBron James going to potentially team up with Nikola Jokic? Again, that it's the comment. It's the comment on there. The perfect time to make big plans for fall of 2026 that has people buzzing. Could Jokic and LeBron somehow, some way, could they orchestrate something and team up? And if they do, where's that going to happen? Everybody let us know in the comments section down below. Don't forget to subscribe right here to the channel. Until next time, everybody. See ya and stay safe.